some very important things here at the showroom. So
it's on fire.
Yeah, it's on fire. We are on fire.
The showroom is on fire.
So, can you guys see the how close Izzy's trying to show you this new lens? I mean, if you guys are liking the quality here, please let us know, because I know that you're trying to go over very specific details from.
Again, this is
lens.
the 16-300. This guy came out in 2016. An incredible all-around zoom, the ultra zoom from Tamron. And then we have the 18-400. This has just been announced. It's going to be available for purchase on July 21st. It will be available in both Canon and in Nikon mount. Now, what did they do? Of course, they made this with their newest in technology. This has the HLD autofocus motor. This is their way of saying that we are basically now working with a stepping motor, but it's in Tamron's design. It's very quiet, ultra quick focusing, incredible precise zooming. They also have an electromagnetic diaphragm, which is of course giving you a much better exposure system, which means, again, you Nikon users, you have to work with this lens if you have something like a D3100 and above. If you have something older than a D3100, this lens will not work, because it's just the same technology as the new electromagnetic system that Nikon themselves has developed. But Canon users, you'll have no issues, of course. This will work on all your crop sensor cameras. It's going to be a very popular lens for the Rebel crowd. And even if you're working with a 7D Mark II or an 80D or a 70D, it'll work fantastically.
Awesome.
And we still have audio. Yay.
So we still, I don't know if Adam's mic is the only one working. I don't know if we're sounding a little bit like far away, but hopefully you can hear us fine. And Adam gets to come in here for a little bit at the end. So we do have a lot of questions, and Izzy, you're gonna have to answer all of them, because we have to give people what they
want.
Give them what they want. So I'm not seeing as many questions on the live, because people were just commenting on the audio. If you have any questions, make sure to please leave it here as a comment so I can send it over to Izzy. But I am going to go over to our video that we posted. Well, first, what's going to be the price on this new lens?
Right now, I believe the price has not been fully designated, but I'm thinking it's going to be closer to $699. Let me switch back to the other system.
$699. And if you go on our Digital Gojo website or our Amazon storefront, you'll see that we have a big plane. You'll see that we have a bundle put together for you. It's going to be coming soon, but the price is already on there. So if you want to see any details, you can.
One thing I did leave out, and I forgot about that, which is very important, since this is their new SP design. It is, of course, moisture resistant, so it's going to be able to work in much more harsh environments. So if you're outdoors and, of course, not in a downpour, but if it's raining, you don't have to run for cover. And of course, being their SP system design DI2, you will be able to use their tap console, so you can do firmware updates, vibration control, compensation tweaks, stuff like that. So that is going to be the other new added feature in their new ultra zoom, because of the fact that, again, Tamron is stepping up the game and they're switching most of their lenses to that new SP design, which, again, this feels fantastic in the hand. Like I stated before in the previous video, I still have some time with it, so I'm going to be able to do some shoot. I'm going to do some still and some video so that we can post that at a later date, because they will be removing these guys from us, even though I'm working right now with a salesman design. So this might not be a finished product, but we're going to put it through the ringer.
Okay, so are you ready for some questions?
Absolutely.
So we did get, and we're still getting, about 110 questions, and we've been trying to answer them. Our team has been trying to answer these questions on the video that was posted before, which was a video done by Izzy. It was a sneak peek review. So I'm going to go over some of those questions, but if you have any other questions that you want to get your answers for, just make sure to leave them here. Can you use this lens in a micro 4/3 camera?
No, because remember, micro 4/3 is a completely different mount. You would have to use it with an adapter, but then that's buyer beware. There's some adapters out there that are basically dumb adapters. So imagine you put that lens on a dumb adapter, it'll hold the lens on there, but you won't be able to control your diaphragm. You won't be able to change your f-stop, none of that. So this is strictly for Canon EF/EFS mount, EFS mount, because this is for a crop sensor, or the DX mount from Nikon.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump back and forth from that video to the live because we are getting a lot of questions on here. Can you compare this lens to it was a Sigma lens, the 100 to 400?
Well, the 100 to 400 is a telephoto zoom, not an ultra zoom, because remember, here you're starting with the widest perspective that you can get on your APS-C camera without any type of distortion, which is 18 millimeter all the way to 400. So this is a lens that's meant to replace multiple lenses. Like basically they call it an ultra zoom because this is going to be something like a lens that you put on your camera and you go traveling with, and you don't have to be swapping out lenses. If you put a 100 to 400 on there, if you have to do any kind of wide angle shots or scenics, you're not going to be able to do it unless you move much further back. So again, the 100 to 400 is a complementary telephoto zoom, but it's not something that's an ultra zoom. The closest thing I think from Sigma is available is in 18 to 300 millimeter.
Nice. So we did get some questions related to the T6i. So I want to make sure that we're asking these. How well will this work with the Rebel T6?
It'll work fantastically because again, now that you're working with a camera that gives you the capability of doing autofocus in your video, this lens with their HLD focusing motor will work fantastically in video for your T6i and of course for your stills. So it's something that a lot of the original manufacturers pretty much abandoned. I mean, the last time I checked, Canon right now only has an 18 to 200. So you would literally have to walk around with at least two lenses to be able to have the coverage that you're getting on the Tamron 18 to 400.
Would it be a good option to have the Tamron 10 to 24, the new one, and this lens for professional photography like landscape, portraits, and wildlife?
Well, you would have every range covered. You would have from, again, the widest perspective on a crop sensor camera, which is the 10 millimeter without excessive distortion. So it's not going to give you a fisheye, but it's going to give you an ultra wide, all the way to a 400 millimeter with just two lenses. So you pretty much are working with everything that is available for a crop sensor camera all in one small package, because you're basically working with one small lens. And this is basically a really small lens. It really is very well constructed, but this is not going to take up a lot of room in your kit bag. So you can take this lens with the camera alongside the 10 to 24 maybe, and in a pouch, and basically you can walk around with a much smaller kit bag with just those two lenses.
So this person mentioned that they always watch our videos and was saving for a 16 to 300, but he's asking, does this lens have a macro feature to it on top of everything else that?
Yes, this one does have a 1 to 2.9 macro magnification, so it does allow you to work with this lens, not like a 1-to-1 ratio, but it allows you to focus rather close. And again, we haven't put it through the hoops yet. I haven't been able to try it out in long range. That's coming up. We're going to both be able to get a hold of this lens. I'm going to shoot on the Nikon mount, and we also have it available in a Canon and a Nikon mount. We have both. We have the Nikon and the Canon mount. So we're going to put it through the ringer. But this lens, again, it is their newest version in the ultra zoom, so it does give you the capability of using it as a macro lens also.
Okay, next question. How's the image quality, which you haven't been able to test yet? We have a review coming your way, field review, but
yeah, I mean, so far what we've used in here, it's incredibly sharp. We've had great features with the image stabilization. The vibration compensation from Tamron is world renowned, and it feels fantastic in the hand. I have not had any issues with image quality with this lens so far, but again, I want to be able to put it through the hoops.
does the Canon mount have image stabilization?
Yes, they all have vibration compensation. This is what Tamron calls their image stabilization on the lens. And again, you'll have it both in the Canon mount and in the Nikon mount, but they're all going to be called differently. Tamron has always called it vibration compensation.
Nice. I feel like I've been asking so many. Does it?
No, we want to be able
So,
to help you out because
let me
again,
give
this
you a little
was a
break.
surprise to us too.
Yeah, and they're very nice lenses. So I want to give you a small break. I know that if you had a chance to watch our last video, and if you haven't, you can go do that now. You know that we're gonna be giving away something special today. It's not the lens. I just want to make sure.
No, I can't. They're gonna come pick these up. They're not mine, so.
You can take Izzy, but you can't take the lens.
Can't take the lens.
One thing that we're very proud of here at Digital Goja is are the different brands that we always talk about, and Autofocus is one of those brands that I know you love because there are a lot of videos on that. And our last live stream, last Thursday, we talked about what should be in your photographer's bag. So what we want to give away today is a
bag so you can keep all your stuff. That way you can take all your product in a bag. So we're actually giving away the Autofocus Wanderer. This is the bag that we used in the last video, so you know that you can fit a lot of gear in here. You can take your favorite laptop, you can take your favorite tablet, you can take all your
and
gear
your tripod,
with you,
right?
and your tripod.
Make sure
and
to
monopod.
go watch the live stream for last week to
This
know.
holds a lot of gear,
Yeah.
but it's comfortable to travel. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we're so proud of the Autofocus bag lineup. And this one is one of our more popular sellers. So we've had great results with it. I'm sure that whoever wins this is going to be incredibly happy. Fantastic way to carry your kit. So there it is.
So one of the best-selling bags.
It
right?
is. We do very well with it here in the showroom, and I know that on our Amazon website and our digitalgoja.com website, it is also a #1 seller. And it's been on sale now for, I think we're going on maybe almost 8 months with this guy, and we've had great results with it. So again, another wonderful lineup.
We're getting a lot of people saying that they really would love to get this. So one thing that I want to do, because we're still getting so many people commenting on that video, and again, the things that you need to make sure that you're doing in order for you to win is like the video. You can like this one if you want, but it's not this video specifically, it's the one we posted before. Comment on that video with a question, even if it's the same question that you've asked here. Make sure to go on there and comment, because our team is going to spend the rest of the day answering your questions, and tomorrow and the day after. So you'll get an answer, and you also get a chance to win our bestseller. And you also need to subscribe to our channel, because we don't want you to miss any of the videos that we're working really hard to bring to you. A lot of new concepts. Tomorrow we're going to be updating, and Izzy and Adam still don't know this, but we're going to be doing like a Digital Goja update, and you'll be hearing a plane go by, maybe, but also news on
Wave to the plane. I can see it.
Our new schedule and new concepts and new videos that are going to be coming your way. There are things that you've been asking for. So I'm going to wait until the end of the live stream to say who's going to win the bag. So make sure to stay till the end. And if Izzy, if you're ready, continue answering questions.
Absolutely. Let me put this over here. This is where we would have an Adam at one given point.
Yeah.
Right here. It's the smaller version.
So I don't know if you want to switch to the other camera for a little bit, so we can. You want to be half Adam, half Izzy, for.
There we
We're
go.
getting a lot of questions, so let me see. Awesome. So, is this a good lens for the T5, the Canon T5?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The T5 will work fantastically with the EFS version.
Awesome. So, it's working in D3100.
D3100, yes.
D3100.
Remember, it will function because of the electromagnetic diaphragm system. It will function with all the crop sensor cameras that were released from Nikon from the D3100 on. Anything older than a D3100, you will not be able to work with it. I mean, you got to face it, they're doing the same upgrades that Nikon themselves, the mother company, did. So when they came up with the electromagnetic lenses for the diaphragm that are available now, they're leaving any camera that is older than the D3100. You will not be able to function with any of those lenses or this one.
Awesome. So this person wants your help. They have to choose between this lens and the Canon 70-300 Nano USM2.
Again, if you
He has the 80D.
So if you have an 80D with the 70-300, number one, remember, that lens is meant for full frame. So you will have actually that 1.6 crop factor perspective to take into consideration. So you're going to have considerable, much more magnification. So if you are doing, I guess, sports photography in general only, or wildlife, you will not be able to do any kind of scenics. Everything will be at a greater distance due to the fact that you're working with a telephoto zoom. This is what they call an ultra zoom, so it's meant to take the place of your standard kit lens. Let's say if you purchase your 80D with the 18-55, and now you have the 70-300, this is the lens that would take place of both of those lenses. So that's the way to explain it, basically.
How would you keep your camera lens from not fogging up?
Well, that's something that we deal with all the time here in Miami because of the fact that we are basically, you know, if we're lucky, we have less than 90% humidity. So basically what I'm saying is, if you are working in an environment where you're going from cold to hot, you have to give it at least 30 to 35 minutes for it to acclimate to the change in humidity and temperature. So that's just something that is basically going to happen if you're working in an environment where, like we are right now, where it happens to us. We'll walk from the showroom outdoors to try a lens out or a camera, and you've seen it. It even happens to Adam's glasses. So all of a sudden, you know, you have to be prepared to acclimate for that.
So, woohoo!
Look, we have Adam.
I'm
We have
back.
Adam
He's
here.
back.
I got lost for a little
Let's
bit.
a round of applause for Adam because he's been doing.
He was
Tough
multitasking
things.
something
Trying
fierce.
to-
So, Adam, you're gonna be I'm gonna be mentioning the winner. Sorry, I thought you knew who it was, but it's someone special, someone that's been commenting a lot. So make sure to keep commenting your questions because I'm running out of them, I think. So
Really?
yeah.
I couldn't have answered all of them.
It says, do you think this lens is gonna replace the 16-300
I don't
price
know.
and quality?
I don't know about replacing it because they still have in their repertoire this guy, which came out back in 2010. So they haven't discontinued it because, face it, there's differences in sizes. There is a slight difference in the size between the lenses and in the price point. So it's not going to replace it. I think it's going to be an addition in their lineup.
How soon would they be able to get this lens from Digital Goja?
It should be
Should be
available.
available towards the end of the month.
Yep.
Nice.
Just keep an eye on the page, and it should be available towards the end of the
Well, I
month.
think we already have it posted on the Digital Goja webpage.
Yes, and the links are below and in the video that went up 4 hours ago. So
There you go.
Amazon and Digital Goja.
There you go.
How is the low light performance? And again, you haven't had a chance to really.
Yeah, we haven't been able to really take it out, but as we've probably said in the specs, and if you see, it's a 6.3 at the long end.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, a lot of the cameras now, like the new T7i that came out, so the new Nikons, Sony, you know, like if you're going to adapt it to like a Sony or anything like that, ISO performance is really good.
Yeah, the cameras are being able to accept higher ISOs as we speak. So,
But you know, again, you're looking at something that's going from a super wide angle lens to a that's going from a wide angle to a super telephoto. So, I mean, it's not going to be as fast as some of those fast wide angle lenses.
well, or
like
the
a
prime
1.4.
lenses. Imagine, as you know, I'm sure that I think I saw a comment on there. It's like, do you think they'll be coming out with one of these that's a 2.8? It would be the size of a 10-year-old child.
That's what
because,
I always mess around with my friends. I'm like, yeah, they're Canon's next lens or Nikon or Sony's. It's going to be a 18-600 f 1.4.
There you go.
That
And,
would
you know,
be-
you can put it on top of your car and use it, you know, like a flotation device because it'll be that large. Oh, look at that. Now they're all three of us on there.
So we have another comparison here. How would you compare this to the 150 to 600 from Sigma?
It's not really. I wouldn't really compare it.
Yeah.
Just because they're two different, obviously two different lenses, but
For wildlife, I don't know if that makes.
for wildlife, and you're looking to carry around, and you can carry around the bigger lens, I'd say maybe go for the 150 to 600. Either Tamron, the G2 version, I think would be a great lens. I think to me would be a better option over the first version of the Sigma, but you know, this is an all-around zoom lens. It's much smaller. It's easy to carry around if you're hiking. For most people, it's going to be hard to carry around the 150
to 600.
So.
I mean, again, this is something that you can take with you everywhere, and it's not going to draw attention too. You got to take into consideration, if you're traveling, do you really want to walk around with a big giant 150 to 600 everywhere you go? You're going to have a crowd or something. So this is something that's going to be very inconspicuous attached to your camera. So I've always said it, the best lens is the one that's with you. So of course the photographer has to make the decision of what tool they need to go out and do their imaging. But I like the fact of being able to have something that is small and compact and allows me to work with different perspectives without carrying a huge amount of equipment.
So we've got some people interested in using this lens for video and not just photography. Does it have a silent motor system?
Yeah,
that's a great question, and I think that's
HLD.
HLD. So we did put it on a Canon camera, and we were testing it out with the dual pixel AF, and it was I couldn't hear it autofocusing. But obviously, if you're going to use the internal mics, the internal mics of the camera will pick up like just vibration.
Right.
It will pick that up. Always recommend when doing video use an external
microphone,
a plug-in type microphone. But it is silent. It's probably the best of any of the long zoom lenses that Tamron has.
Yeah, and the
as for the ultra zooms,
yeah,
like 16 to 300 or 18 to 270.
Yeah, this is their cream of the crop now. This is their newest in technology. They're upgrading. It's their SP lineup, and we've been very happy with the SP lineup that Tamron has been putting out recently.
And you mentioned it's compatible with the dock, right?
The tap in.
So overall, would you guys buy this lens if?
Well, I'm obviously going to give the Tamron guy a hard time because I want my own copy. So yeah, absolutely, it'll be going on my Canon camera. And did you already tell him that you wanted a Fuji version?
Who's taking the lens for a ride this weekend? No one.
Both of us are. There's two of them. We're gonna have a Nikon and a Canon.
Nice.
So we're gonna do
We'll probably show you those pictures next week for sure.
Yeah, a little competition.
See who takes the best photos.
There we go.
Would you
beauty
prefer...
or youth?
I think I'm gonna do like a couple more questions.
Well, I'm not the youth, obviously.
Like hot and new, like the lens.
Yeah, there you go, hot and new.
So, would you prefer prime lenses for portraits, 35, 50, 85, 135, or this one single lens should cover them with the same quality?
You want to take that?
So again, if you're looking just for one lens to do it all, I mean, this is a good option. You can kind of get the bokeh effect by zooming all the way out, because the telephoto end will compress the frame and enlarge what's out of focus. But if you're looking for something that's faster, you're gonna have to go with a prime.
Yep.
You're gonna have to go with the prime. But again, when shooting portraits, especially if you're going to be shooting models like women, I would recommend
dogs
or men. A longer focal length lens is more flattering. You know, if you use a wider angle lens like a 35 and you're closer to your subject matter, it's not going to be as pleasing. Facial features won't be as pleasing as, let's say, a 105 millimeter lens or an 85 millimeter
too,
lens.
So you got to be careful with those.
So you have all those focal lengths in the 18 to 400. But again, you know, prime lenses tend to be the sharpest of.
Yes, they are.
You know, still zoom lenses are sharp, and they're like light years from from the 90s, right?
Oh yeah, from when they first started, that 28 to
Right.
200, that was revolutionary at the time. But if we're used to this kind of technology now, you work with something like that, you're going to find flaws.
But again, for the person that's looking just for one lens, that's on a budget, that's looking for also a sharp lens. We've taken a few images. We haven't really been able to do a real detailed test. This is a very sharp lens. So yes, I would recommend this lens, but anything like a 50 millimeter, you can pick up like a 50 millimeter prime for really cheap. So it's something else that you can put in your camera bag. But yeah, I definitely recommend something like an 18 to 400.
I mean, I think it's going to become a really popular lens when we're traveling. Again, the convenience factor is very important. So I think this guy is going to fit the bill in that. And again, very well constructed, the moisture resistance, and the fact of being able to use their tap-in console. That means
vibration compensation.
Remember, we're talking about a company that was revolutionary when it came to image stabilization on the lenses. So they're not a slouch. So it's going to help out a lot of people. I'm very glad that they actually jumped on board and added something to their lineup in the repertoire with this guy.
So you're getting a lot of people interested in this lens.
Cool.
Yeah. Good job. So because it replaces, would you say that it replaces more than one lens?
Yes, absolutely.
It could replace 3 lenses.
Absolutely.
That's
so
good.
again, it's a lot of people, I feel, and people that I've talked to like to travel light. I mean, it's not, it does have some weight to it, but remember, you carry one camera, one lens, and you're good to go. And a lot of people don't like switching lenses out in the field. So
exactly, that's where accidents happen sometimes too.
Exactly.
And the 400 millimeter, that's always been a different threshold. That's always been a lens that you have to acquire an additional lens. We've always had 300, but now that we're throwing 400 in there, that's a lens that millimeter is something that made people think 2 and 3 times. I'm like, wow, am I going to take my 400 millimeter, whether it's an f4 or a 5.6, is that going to leave today, or is it going to stay at home with the cat? So that's where I think this is revolutionary.
With the cat.
Well, I have a cat.
So our winner's actually a funny guy. He's been
Really?
answering people's questions, helping us, just trying to make
Thank you.
all nice and dandy. So I think it's time to announce who's the winner for the bag, and I want Izzy and Adam to get close to this name here that I have highlighted randomly, because can you see that?
You have your glasses.
So that we can all announce it together.
I'm gonna have to get really close.
The winner
Okay,
is...
and the winner is.
And the winner is.
Izzy, you want me
Can
to
you see
give you
that?
my glasses?
Yeah.
Toby
wait.
Smith.
Toby Smith. Wait, let me put my glasses. Yep, that does say Toby Smith. Congratulations, Toby. You are the new proud winner. Wanderer winner.
I hope you get to wander a lot, because that's good. Wander, explore, and
That's all
ask
about
questions.
photography, right? Wandering
Yes.
around,
Yeah.
getting lost.
Yeah.
So this was an interesting live stream. We did
We
good.
had some
We had
technical difficulties
hiccups.
there.
a lot
but-
of people on it, and he's celebrating.
Yay!
Yay!
Congratulations.
Congratulations. If you have any questions that
Cheers.
didn't get answered, make sure to comment them below. This video will get posted. Always remember that this is a live video. We do get a few comments later on from people that don't understand why the video looks different than the rest, but
I think that's me, right? Oh no.
yeah.
I'm like, why does
So-
this video look different?
He says he's new to photography and that we made his day, and
Oh,
you
great.
know,
Oh, awesome.
thank you.
Great.
You made ours, and thank you. And I know that you're subscribed to the channel, and we appreciate
awesome.
all of our subscribers. If you guys get a chance to come and spend some time with Izzy and Adam here in the showroom, make sure you do that, because it's a space you won't believe it how many things you can play with, right? And
It's a
take
toy
with
store.
you and take with you.
Toy store.
Hopefully. So,
Mhm.
so any other final thoughts from maybe Adam, who barely was here? Do you
Yeah.
wanna?
The
We-
I think
multitasking.
had a lot of
Izzy handled everything that I was going
Yeah.
to go over. He did a
Me
great
too.
job. I want to thank
we
Izzy
answered
Well, I
probably
just
over
wanted to make
40
sure I
questions.
didn't burn anything when I was trying to switch between cameras. So
Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
we'll see you next time. And
All right.
again, happy shooting.
Happy shooting. Bye.